Hello, I'm Trevor Coley, founder and designer of Sontronics microphones, and I'd like to introduce to you the PODCAST Pro. The Sontronics PODCAST Pro is, as its name suggests, developed and designed for podcasting. But actually, when we think about it, it's more than just that. This is a broadcast microphone and developed as a professional mic. Rather than just come out with another microphone to meet the market of the burgeoning podcast and streaming markets around the world, we decided that we'd spend a bit of time studying what's already out there and think about the actual application and develop the product based around that. Importantly, what we're talking about here is listening to broadcasts, whether it's a YouTube stream, a Zoom video conference, for example. It's all about speech, not vocals. So when we're considering the microphone that we're using, and this is really important that you think about the application first. A quick 3-minute pop song is one thing, but maybe 1 hour or 35 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is of speech requires a lot more listening skill. And the person at the other end of the speaker, at the other end of your presentation, doesn't want to be suffering from listening fatigue due to things like sibilance or too many plosive sounds coming through. You want to deliver a pleasant audio experience. So where we began was first and foremost our capsule, the internal capsule in here. This is a dynamic microphone. It requires no phantom power. It plugs directly into your audio interface, your mixing desk or your preamplifier, and requires very little additional gain compared to many of other podcast microphones in the marketplace. This is a high output neodymium magnet capsule. It shares the same DNA as all of the Sontronics dynamic microphones, the Solo, the Halo, and the Corona. This means that when you plug in, you raise your gain, you're not introducing lots of noise from the amplification circuit, but you're getting a really strong output signal. In addition to that, you're getting very nice frequency response across all of the audio frequencies needed for your speech. So, as I mentioned, in a 3-minute pop song, the S's and the T's that will be coming are not such a problem. But in an hour podcast, they will cause your listener to turn off. So what we did is design an internal sibilance filter using very specific materials, and also a pop filter which counters the plosive sounds, the P's and the B's that have a huge amount of energy and cause the capsule to actually stop working for a moment. And obviously you don't want that big pump sound happening in the headphones or the speakers of your listener. So this is all controlled. It also means that you don't need to have an additional pop filter sitting in front of the microphone, so that when you are on screen and on camera, you haven't got this big thing in front of your face. It's all taken care of with the PODCAST Pro. On the rear of the microphone, you have your XLR connection. Very straightforward, no switches, no buttons, no confusion. Another error that often happens with other microphones is they're too heavy. And if you think about how we tend to use these stands, they're often suspended over a desk on a boom arm. And if the arm is not strong enough and the mic is too heavy, this will sag and you'll have problems. You'll try and tighten it and the springs will loosen, the mic is too heavy. Now this is manufactured from aerospace aluminium. It is anodized and laser engraved and etched with the logo and the data. All of this will stay exactly as it is for the lifetime of the microphone. Now, the mic works perfectly for all broadcast applications, whether it's podcasting, as I said, video conferencing, gaming, streaming, the whole thing. But it's also a professional microphone. So working in broadcast radio stations, OB trucks, all of those environments where you need to have a really great quality sound, but importantly, rejection from anywhere else other than the front of the microphone. And to explain this, what we're talking about is when we're speaking into the front of the microphone, this is where the reception is. This is where the sound is being picked up from. What we don't want to be happening is sound coming into the sides or the rear of the microphone. And this is really important if you're having an interview, for example. If you're in a podcasting studio and you've got a guest coming in for a chat, you're sitting opposite one another. You don't want each other's voice appearing in each other's microphones. And I believe the PODCAST Pro has the finest noise rejection of any microphone in its class. We have also not only the black, but as you can see over my shoulder, a rainbow of colors. So Again, not just for looks, but imagine you're setting up a podcasting suite. You can each have a different microphone, and it's really helpful to be able to refer to who's on the red mic and who's on the black mic, who's on the grey mic. Just something extra from us, and also to bring a little bit of colour to your world. Thanks very much for listening.